around, knocking the tail of the brave knight, Sir Guwain, and his journey to face the Green Knight. That's how everyone in this movie sounds. That's how every guy in this movie sounds. Except for the Green Knight. He's got a cool ass voice. Every other dude in this movie, goddamn. Sir Guwain. That being said, we're talking about the Green Knight, and goddamn it, this movie fucking slaps. This is my first movie back in a movie theater in over a year. The last movie was The Invisible Man, which I will talk about some other time on this channel. And now it's The Green Knight, over a year later. My first time back in a movie theater. And thank God it was this movie. Thank God this movie was good. Otherwise, I may not be here today. I might have Brooks was here myself. So, let's discuss The Green Knight. There's spoiler warning, because this movie... Okay, maybe I won't. I'll save my thoughts and then go into spoilers. Alright? This movie's great. It's weird. It's not how you think it's going to be. It's very much a David Lowery film. If you've seen his other movies, I've seen a couple. I've seen A Ghost Story and I've seen Pete's Dragon, which Pete's Dragon is a Disney remake. It's probably the best Disney remake, and it's probably the weirdest goddamn Disney remake. It's a very quiet, slow film, and so is, ironically enough, another movie about a green creature, the Green Knight. So I kind of knew what I was getting into because of his other work. But man, this movie goes to some weird places, and it does not like the saying is like, this movie holds my hand. This movie holds your hand through everything. This movie does not only not hold your hand, it fucking abandons you. You're on your own for this movie, man. This movie is like, fuck you. We're not gonna tell you what anything in this goddamn movie means at all. You're just gonna have to fucking infer and figure shit out for yourself. You're lost. No map. No nothing. You're as lost as the Guwain. So that's my non-spoiler review. So let's get into spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled for the Green Knight, I have some thoughts. And we're in spoiler. Was that it? Was that really his jizz? Was that really? Is that real? Was that real? Did he really put? He got a jizz belt on the whole movie? Or... No, seriously. From the beginning of the movie, you kind of know this movie's not going to be like a normal movie. And I like how it's very medieval times at the beginning. It's Guwain, and he's partying, he's drinking, he's having a good time, he's living his life, he's being a fuckboy, pretty much. He's being a medieval fuckboy. And then he goes to the party, and then the king is like, "So, you got any cool stories?" He's like, "No, actually, I don't have any stories to tell. I don't have a life outside of this place. I haven't done anything with my life." And then the Green Knight enters, and boy, this is a weird goddamn movie. From the jump, it's weird, but boy, when that Green Knight comes in, the tone of the movie just completely gets into it, and it's a fantastic entrance with the Queen reading the note and her voice changing into the Knight's voice, and him just galloping in there with that horse, and every movement of his, you just hear creaking and groaning of wood, and it's and the message is really just a game. I just want to play a game. Does anybody want to play a game with me? But the way everything happens is so foreboding and goddamn threatening. You think it's a fucking duel, and Guwain fucks up because he's a fuckboy, and it's such a good it sets everything up so well once he cuts off that dude's head, because he holds the head, he picks his own head up, and he's like, 1 year hence, and you're like, oh shit, he's got to get that blow back. He's got to get the blow back from him from the Green Knight. He's got to get an equal blow, and that is a lot of this movie's up to interpretation. So this is just my interpretation of what the Green Knight meant to me, and I think he left it so perfectly, not explaining things. He explained certain things, but there are certain things there where it's like, it's up to you, man. Really, honestly, it's up to you how you see this movie, and I love that. I love how fantastic that is. I've seen people call it a coming of age tale. I've seen people call it like an indictment of youths today and stuff like that. And for me, it's just the story of a guy trying to own up to his own goddamn mistake and refusing to for an entire movie, and thinking he's hot shit the whole movie. I love the long fucking shot of him just on the horse. The kids are behind him chasing him. It's a long shot and it's quiet. It's just the galloping and the kids walking. There's no I feel like the script for this movie is at least like 10 pages, because almost nobody talks in this movie. And it's an amazing shot. It's a really long tracking shot, and you just see the further away he gets from the castle, and you just see like it starts to sink in what this journey is about to be for him. And then we get to the war zone with the kid that's looting the bodies. Looked a lot like Atreus from God of War. And Guwain's kind of an asshole to him, and he just gives him a penny. And he's like, "Here, kid, here's a shilling," or whatever they called it back then. And I what I love about this movie is, goddamn, everything comes back to bite this Guwain in the ass so quickly. Like, talk shit, get hit, and like immediately for Guwain. First off, he gets immediately mugged from his dope ass armor and shield and sword and axe and horse. He's just left there tied up with it, which was another long shot of just the situation sinking in on him. And it's a gorgeous shot of the camera rotating, and then it's his skeleton. I really like that. And then he meets that ghost, which is my favorite scene in the movie, of him meeting that ghost, this very matter-of-factly ghost woman, which I really loved. And that was another example of him talking shit and getting hit. Though he didn't get hit because he kind of learns his lesson, because the ghost calls him out on it, because the ghost wants her head back, and he's like, "Okay, well, if I get your head back, what do I get?" And she's like, why would you ask me that? It's a very Dungeons and Dragons thing to ask somebody, you know what I mean? It's a very D&D thing to be like, "Okay, if I do this quest, what do I get out of this quest?" But you're talking about ghosts, first of all, and like that's kind of an asshole thing to ask anybody, living or dead. You just be a nice person, you asshole. That's pretty much the movie to me. Honestly, the message of the movie to me was like, be a nice person, you asshole. Stop thinking you're hot shit. Real reality ego check for Guwain. And that scene where he reaches into the water and then everything turns red and it gets all like spacey and weird, and I don't know how he did it, but you know when you close your eyes and there's just like that fading image of the light, and he manages to make that translate to film when he's in the water in pitch black, and there's just like, it looks like constellations almost. And I thought for a second, I was like, is it pitch black and my eyes are closed, or is this the movie? Which was really trippy to me. And then the giants, I don't have an interpretation for that. I don't know what the fuck any of that means. If I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get a ride from the giants, and they were like, "No, why would you want to ride from a giant? They'd crush you in your hand. Why would you?" All right, and then the fox friend of his, real cute little fella. I like that little fox. We'll defend him with my life. I want a fox. I want the poster of the fox. Give me that poster, the fox poster. I like that. I like that little fella. And then he meets he goes to that castle with Joel Edgerton and Miss Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. That's a weird one. I'm of the mind of that This is my interpretation. Again, this could be completely wrong, but this is how I saw it. I'm of the mind that the blind lady that they never acknowledge, she's the only real person in that castle, and Joel Edgerton and the lady are not real. I could be totally wrong. I could be 100% wrong. But I was like, why are they never acknowledging this lady? I feel like she's like astral projecting these two as her, like, as herself. Since she's old and frail and blind, she'd rather have these two people represent her and stuff, which makes the jizz scene weirder and the kiss scene different. But I did not expect that kiss. That was kind of a great scene too, because he was like, "All right, you kissed my wife, I'll kiss you back." That's what, anything you get in that house, I get in return. That's what he says. So the kiss is like, I get that kiss back, which was a great way to wrap up that whole sequence. And then we get to the panic of the end. All right, the end. Here's my interpretation of the end. Well, first, the whole life flashing before his eyes thing, I love when movies do that. And the way this did all that. No dialogue, pretty much. Just really slow takes of this man, of just real slow takes of Guwain and his life if he made it back, and how his life would be for the worse if he was a coward about everything, if he kept that belt on, if he really didn't change who he was. That's how bad his life. He would become king, and he would be in power, but at the end it would have been at the cost of everything to him, and he would decide to just cut his own head off. But then he takes the belt off, and here's where my interpretation comes in, and I could be totally wrong again. This is just how I saw it. Everybody sees the ending different, I think, in my opinion. He takes the belt off in front of the knight, and the knight goes. He calls him. I forgot what he says exactly, but he's like, "You're a brave little knight." And then he goes, "Now," and then he goes like this on Guwain, and he goes, "Off with your head." And then the movie ends. You don't know if he cuts his head off or not. And I don't think he does. I think this motion on Guwain was the equal blow to the Green Knight. Because to the Green Knight, getting his whole head cut off, like getting decapitated, it wasn't really any damage done to him. He put his head back on and he went home. He didn't die from it. So the blow has to be equal to Guwain, and an equal blow to a human being. To him, I guess it's akin to just a little scrape on the chin. Is a beheading to the Green Knight is a scrape on the chin to him. So I think he doesn't cut his head off, and like it was all pretty much like after credits, he would just be like, "I'm just fucking with you, dude. Like, get up, stop being such a fucking." You're killing the mood. Get up. We're just messing around. I was just messing around. It was just a game, dude. It was just a game. We were having fun. And that's in my opinion. He could for all intents and purposes actually have cut off his head. I don't know. I don't think they say in the real tale like if his head gets cut off. But to me, I don't think he does. But yeah, that's my interpretation. That's how I saw the Green Knight, and I loved it. I really loved it. I love how quiet this movie is. I love how pensive this movie is. There's just a lot of, I don't want to say vibes, but there's a lot of vibes. It's a great. I will say this though. Dungeon masters the world over are going to be using this movie's soundtrack for their D&D sessions. I promise you that. We're going to get sick of the Green Knight for D&D sessions in a few years, because everyone's going to be using it, because the music for this movie is fucking incredible. It's incredible. The way Lowry just, for every aspect of this movie, sticks to the fucking Arthurian legend of it all. He really sticks to that conceptually. It's not like Guy Ritchie King Arthur, or it's not like Kingdom of Heaven or anything. He sticks to that like weird Arthurian like legendary. Like Merlin's in the movie. First of all, Merlin's in the movie doesn't say anything, but he's just there staring creepily. Arthur's in the movie, played by that dude whose voice is like this, and I can't understand anything he says, but he's fucking awesome too. So I really love. He understood the tone of that genre perfectly, and I could see why they made like a real life D&D game out of it, because it really does feel like one. It feels like that. Feels a bit like Breath of the Wild for a second, a little bit. It's a great epic in scope, and it's almost an art film to me personally. It's so beautiful. I loved it. That's my take on The Green Knight. What did you think about the movie? What were your interpretations of the quests of which Guwain went through, the trials of Guwain? What did you think happened at the end? Let me know, because I like hearing what other people saw. And maybe together we might actually figure out what the fuck this movie's about. But yeah, that's my take on The Green Knight. So, see y'all next week for probably, what movie's coming out sooner? Suicide Squad, right? Suicide Squad's next. I might go to the theaters to see Suicide Squad, though. I might go to the movies. I know it's gonna be on HBO, but I might go to the movies. We'll see. If it's Suicide Squad next week, you'll know already. But yeah, bye. Like, comment, and subscribe for Guwain, the Green Knight, That's how everybody in that movie talks. I need to see the movie again with subtitles, is what I'm realizing, because maybe that's why I didn't understand what the fuck was going on. I don't know what anybody said in that movie. Anyway, bye.